Hey guys, and welcome back to another video here on my channel. So today we are building another house in The Sims 4. So we are in Windenburg today, the beautiful, beautiful world of Windenburg. It is the town that came with Get Together, if you don't know. And if you don't know, then you need to go and get Together, because it is such a good pack, especially item and build wise. So yeah, we are building a sort of like well, it's called Beachside Vistas because it is on the beach side and it's got some amazing views. So it's kind of like a beachy kind of house, I guess, kind of like bachelor-esque. It's not like a bachelor pad, I wouldn't say. It's a bit more feminine than a bachelor pad probably would be, but yeah, it definitely has that kind of vibe to it. It has 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. One is just like a guest bedroom. I didn't really furnish it too particularly, and then obviously the other one is like the master bedroom. So as you can see, we're getting the layout for the house here, just totally made up out of my head. I was just sort of drawing, dragging walls, adding pillars in. You'll see it jump here in a second because I edited out a bit of part of the kitchen where there was a load of rubbish happening, or I tried a bunch of different stuff and I didn't even do that in the end. So we're jumping and then we're building this kitchen area at the back here. The kitchen's really big and it's got like a dining room next to it and like a breakfast section next to it as well. There's lots of places to eat in this house. And lots and lots of windows. So as you can see, there's also like a little courtyard area inside the house. It's not a courtyard per se because you can't go out there, but it is that kind of thing. It's just covered with windows and it goes all the way up to the 2nd floor, and then there's like a tree in there. So I did use palm trees on this house, which I do miss using palm trees a little bit, because in The Sims 2 and The Sims 3, they're like both the first main worlds, so like the first world in The Sims 2 and then obviously the main world in The Sims 3, Sunset Valley. It was very palm tree, and we didn't have a world like that with The Sims 4 yet, so I kind of missed it. So because it was kind of beachy and this house kind of worked, and I went with palm trees, which was really fun. So you'll see those a bit later on when I am doing that. So here I'm getting the top layout and I'm making it a little bit bigger, and this is going to be a big balcony on the back of the house here. There are 2 balconies, definitely making the most of these amazing views around here. This is actually situated on the island in Windenburg. If you look at it from the town view, it's like the bottom left island, and it's actually like the bottom slightly to the left a lot that it's situated on. There is a house here already with 2 guys living in it, and I just bulldozed it basically, and you might see them in a couple of the screenshots because I do use them to go into tab mode. So they're standing around somewhere, I'm sure. But here we are building the balcony, and I'm probably changing my music or something here while I build. I do like to listen to music while I build, or sometimes I watch TV, but I find TV is too distracting and then I just sit there for ages watching it. So I usually do music when I'm building. But yeah, just expanding this balcony a little bit and adding a bunch of pillars in. So here I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with the back garden deck area, which it does turn out to be like a massive deck. There's not actually like any grassy areas like that you can access that are like a garden on this build. It's all sort of decking, and which I think is what kind of gave it that bachelory kind of vibe. But I don't know, I really like the way it turned out. I think it has something a little bit different to it, especially since a couple of my last builds have been very landscape oriented, and there's been lots of lush landscaping and trees and bushes and everything. There's not so much of it on this house. It's a bit more of a minimal look, I would say, on this house. So but you'll see that as we go through for sure. It's definitely a lot of toned down colours and sort of like minimal furnishing, not a lot of clutter. I think it just works for this kind of build. So as you can see here, I'm using those big industrial windows that came with Get Together, as well as that door, and I'm also mixing with the Spa Day windows that kind of have that blue tint to them, because the industrial windows that I've used here, these big ones, kind of have like a tint to the glass as well. It's not as strong as the one that comes with Spa Day, but it definitely does have a tint, and I just thought they sort of worked quite well together. So I'm adding some trim here all around the building, which later on I do go back and actually get rid of some parts, just because I wanted the wallpaper to flow like all the way up without any interruption. Obviously the trim sort of breaks that up, which can be really helpful sometimes, but I just didn't want it in this house on particular parts. So here you can see I'm adding that courtyard area that I was talking about. I don't know if that actually has a name, like where if you can't access it but there's like a centerpiece. I feel like it does have a name, but I just can't think of it. So anyway, we're just adding a balcony on the staircase here, and this hallway, this hallway was the bane of this house. I was not having fun with this hallway. Later on, when it comes to furnishing, building it was fine, but when it came to furnishing, it tested me quite a few times. So the first we do like a whole furnishing section on it, and then I like get rid of that and do something else because I was not happy with it at all. Sometimes I find it's about doing it first and then coming back to it later with a fresh set of eyes, and actually you'll have a different idea. I do that with this house 2 or 3 times, I think. Like the guest bedroom I furnished, and then I turned the Sims off and went to bed, and the next day I came back and completely redid it because I didn't like it at all. Because I was trying to make it like super personal at first, and I just thought actually this would probably just be like a guest room in a house like this, because it's kind of like, it might be like a holiday house or something, and that's why it's sparsely furnished and there's not too many personal items around, which I thought was quite a nice sort of storyline. Because you could totally chuck this in as like a rentable lot. I don't know if you can only do that in, what's that world called? That one that came with Outdoor Retreat. You guys know the one I'm talking about. I don't know if you can only rent lots there or whether you can rent lots everywhere. I don't know. I'm sure one of you will. So anyway, I'm adding this decking area here, as you can see, and I'm going to put in a pool and an outside barbecue. That's such a stupid thing to say because you don't get inside barbecues. So, but anyway, so you're going to get, there's a barbecue, a massive table for all your Sims to sit on, and then there's like seating. There is no jacuzzi in this build actually, but there is a pool. So I was going to throw a jacuzzi on the top level, but then I changed my mind and just put like a little table out there, and you'll see all that in time. So actually I'm going to shimmy the lot forward in a moment. I think I'm about to do it now because I wanted to make this look like an infinity pool at the back here. So I bring it forward one and then put that really flat foundation on the pool section, and I think it looks so cool. I thought that was such a nice feature. Unfortunately, because the way the lot is oriented, you do just kind of look back, like the pool just looks out onto a bunch of trees, but I mean, you're in nature and everything, so I think it would be quite a nice view anyway. To be honest, I wouldn't mind living here, that's for sure. So I'm adding some decking, flooring now, and obviously I go for wood, and I go for this grey fence at first, which I really like, but the problem is I used it and then I was trying to do the wallpapering and stuff, which you'll see in a second, and it just didn't look good. It looked really washed out and bland, and as you can see I'm adding like these grey staircases here and stuff, and you'll definitely see I did like the way it looked, but with the colouring where this island is, like the colouring engine, because like it's all different, like Oasis Springs you get very yellow tones on things, and here it was quite sort of dimming tones, so it looked, I don't know, it just didn't look saturated enough, or there wasn't enough contrast, and it just, I don't know, I do like the way it looks looking back at the video now, the way it is. But I've just painted the whole building and you can barely even see anything looks painted. It kind of looks like that drywall that it comes with originally. So I don't know, it didn't work, I don't think. So I changed the fencing to be like that brown, like there's loads of different recolours on it. This one here, I changed it to be like an actual wood colour. And it's like a bit sort of browny orangey, and I think it just adds a lot of, it just adds something which I think looks better, to be honest. So here I was trying to match up some paneling with that, and I tried my best, but obviously there is no creative style in game, so I think I went with that paneling there just because it matched the best. As you can see, there was that one on the front there, but that didn't match. I thought this one matched better anyway, so we went with this for some different parts of the house. And then I think I used like a grey, that I used Spa Day tiles as well to sort of, I think Spa Day works so well with like indoor, because like bathrooms and stuff, but I think they work in all sorts of different places, the Spa Day textures and wallpapers and stuff. I just really like them a lot, so I definitely do use them a heap. Here on this side of the house I was definitely trying to think of something like a third colour just to break it up. Again, I do actually use a Spa Day wallpaper. It's like that wood one, like the thin strips of wood, and they come in really good colours, and it's kind of like a bluey grey, the colour I go for. But yeah, I think it looks good in the end. Just adds a little something to it, because otherwise the house can look kind of boring, and I think it makes it stick out a little bit more as well. It doesn't fit in quite as well, like, or it does fit in better than the grey did, but it still stands out against like the trees and everything, so I think that looks quite nice. I really love these columns as well that came with Get Together. They're like I think this pack is a really good mixture of not just like traditional styled homes and all that kind of stuff and objects, because obviously you've got like the, not too many spoilers or anything if you haven't got it, but I'm sure you guys have seen the trailer and everything or got it yourself. There's a lot of Tudor homes and stuff, and it comes with a bunch of Tudor objects, which is great, because we didn't really have anything like that in the game as it was, so it was good to have some stuff like that. But it also came with a bunch of like contemporary items as well, and I think they just did a really good contrast, like a good balance, because sometimes an expansion pack can be too themed, I think, and it only comes with so many things and they might not be things you use, so if you're a modern builder or like a more traditional builder, you've definitely got items for everyone in this expansion pack. Or if you're like myself that likes both styles, then you know it's happy days because you've got a bit of everything. So here you can see I'm going around and removing some of the trim. I think that might be, oh no, here I go. Yeah, I'm removing some of the trim, just putting it in the places that I really need it instead of everywhere, because it just broke it up a little bit more. Or it didn't break it up as much, rather, sorry, so that it flows. So I'm adding some little hedges around here. Again, I didn't want to go too crazy with landscaping. One, because I've done it so much in my previous builds, and two, because I just didn't think it was the type of lot that would have really, really lush landscaping. So I just did a lot of like sort of evergreen like shrubs, and like I said, I do palm trees later on with just like some rocks and stuff around them, just in like the sections that the palm trees are in. I just do rocks and flowers around there, but I don't go too crazy with it. And the terrain painting on this lot was actually really nice already. It sort of had sand and grass all sort of mixed in, like the sand had been blown onto this lot, which I think is really hard to create by yourself, so I'm really glad EA did it for me. So here you can see the patio furnishing gonna go in a second. Oh no, maybe not, I lie. We're adding these new glass things over the balconies, which I just thought were a bit of added detail to the house. And I'm going in and adding railing. I'm definitely not the type of builder that does one thing at a time, like the exterior and then the interior. I kind of just do a bit of everything. It's because I get bored, because not like bored of what I'm doing, but just like I'm excited to move on to the next bit. So sometimes I like just decide to move on and then come back to what I'm doing bit later on. So anyway, I'm adding a bunch of floor coverings down, and we go for that really light like beachy kind of wood in the foyer entrance area, and that flows through that hallway to the kitchen. It's a very open plan house, but I did want there to be defined sections. So we've got a dining room, a living room, and then a kitchen that flows all the way through to the entrance, and you guys will see that in a bit. I just think it looks really nice. I just love how it turned out, to be honest. It's definitely different from what I've done before as well, because like colour and decoration wise, because it was that kind of holiday beachy home, and I did a more sparse furnishing, usually I like to go more in depth with stuff. So yeah, the dining room literally just has the dining table and chairs in it, and I think that's it. It doesn't have anything, as usually I'd add like accent tables, maybe a side chair or leftover chairs and a bunch of other stuff in, but I didn't, and I think it looked good. It's just different, and it is definitely fun to play with different styles. So unfortunately, if you don't have Get Together, then this probably is not the best house for you to download, because I did use a lot of Get Together furniture, but it's mainly just due to the fact that Get Together is still new to me and I haven't used all the items, and I want to go through and experiment with what colour options they've got and all that kind of stuff. So here I did something that I would never do. I put red and green together. Usually I'm against that on all accounts. I don't like red and green together. I think it looks way too much like Christmas. At Christmas it's fine, like it's the holidays, it looks great. Speaking of, I hope everybody had a really nice Christmas. I myself had a lovely Christmas, so I hope everybody else did. But back to the build, I used like this sort of light green on the walls, and then I used these red colours on the sofa, which admittedly are not all red, they're just like a little accent. But I just love how it turned out. I think it worked together so well, which, like I said, I'm usually against completely. But I think it really worked. So let me know what you guys think. I really like it. Do you like red and green together? Because I certainly don't. I do watch a YouTuber who does The Sims who really likes red and green together. She uses it on a lot of her builds, and I don't personally like it. I mean, her creations are amazing, but I personally just don't like the colour combo. But I think it works so well in this house for some reason. But I think it's because of the theme, maybe. So yeah, anyway, throwing in a massive TV here because I was going for that bachelor pad vibe at first. And I mean, it definitely is like a bachelor-y kind of vibe, I guess. But it's not, I wouldn't say that green walls were bachelor-y. I would say like there'd be a lot of masculine or stereotypical masculine colours, like lots of blues and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. Maybe you guys think it works. It doesn't really matter what kind of sim lives here, to be honest. So, but anyway, I really like how it turned out. I'm just adding in a few little clutter items because I have to have the odd few. But again, trying to stick with that sort of beachy theme. So I like candles and little stones with the flower in and all that kind of stuff. And then just adding in just the 2 wall paintings. And then I don't think I do curtains on here. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I do. I don't think I do. I think I leave it plain. Let's find out. Nope, I guess I'll leave it plain. And moving on to the kitchen here, I go for like a light wood colouring because we went for dark wood in the living room, and then I thought a nice contrast would be a light wood because we've got the really light floor and then these bright blue walls. I thought this sort of sandy kind of coloured wood would look good. would look good. Oh, all rhymes, it gets very confusing. So I'm adding in a stove and everything here, and I move the stove, I delete the middle two cabinets. I didn't want to put it on the back wall because it wasn't going to be centered, and then I decided that it was going to be centered even if it killed me. So I delete these two cabinets and I put in these sort of end cabinets because they're a little bit smaller, and I think it just looks so good because it fitted perfectly, which makes me so happy. And I tried to get those in there, which I just managed to do. Again, those are like the end cabinets. They're supposed to go on a corner, but because they're smaller, if you use move objects on, you can get them to place like on a flat wall, if that makes any sense. I'm sure you guys have seen plenty of people do it already. I'm not the first to do it. It just looks really good, I personally think. So in the dining room, because it flowed through from the living room, we used dark wood again. And because if I would have made the kitchen flow through to the dining room, I think it would have been too much light wood and blue everywhere. So it was nice, just a nice balance. So we just stick a massive potted plant on there again, just like no coloured flowers, but just like an evergreen kind of bush. And I think that just looks better. So we are adding in like a dishwasher and sinks and all that rubbish that you guys need, and I do add a trash can or a bin, whatever you guys call it, later on to the side there. I go through and add in these, what is it, perfect kitchen, no, cool kitchen, that's it, bar stools, and then I add in the tables as well, chairs, sorry, because they were a good colour that match the wall, and I just go for a glass table. And then on the other side of the room, I just put a wall of bookshelves in because I feel like this would definitely be the house where you'd maybe take a good book, go sit out on the deck or one of the balconies, or in the kitchen and look out through the windows while reading and just sort of let that sun soak in. And it's definitely a house of enjoying the outside, that's for sure. So I add in some windows that don't cover the bookshelves here, or the bookshelves that don't cover the windows rather, just because that kind of bugs me sometimes. So sometimes I'm fine with it, like I'm not having an OCD moment, and then other days I'm like, no, I need to change the windows. So adding in this sort of little courtyard area here, desperately trying to put terrain paint in it, and I can't figure out why, and then I realised because it is still on the foundation and I just used flooring to make it green. It definitely took me 5 or 10 minutes to figure out why that wasn't working. But anyway, going through and finishing, well not finishing, but landscaping these little like planted areas that the fencing covers. I wanted them to be green because I wanted to have some green around, and it just made it look very sort of eco-friendly, kind of like a really nice house. But I wanted just to be sparsely furnished with sort of like deserty flowers, more flowers that you'd find near the beach anyway. And then I think I'm going to go, adding some trees. They go in those palm trees there. There's also one in the courtyard area. And then I'm going to just add in like a few little plants and rocks around them. And I think I'd add a little bit of terrain paint, just to give it more realism. And then adding some terrain paint under those bushes as well at the front there. So as you can see, that little side part to the left there, it's actually like a little nothingness area. It's where I put the trash cans for the outside and a little seat, just because I wanted there to be a balcony above it. And it added a lot of detail to the house, I felt. So I just liked how it looked anyway. And then I'm adding like a little walkway here just to define the entrance a bit more by adding some spotlights. And then I go through and add a bunch of mud and then sand over the top again, just to sort of make it look like there's been more treading there than anywhere else on the lot, because obviously a lot of people would tread there to get to the house. So yeah, just try to make it a bit more realistic. And then I go through and add some nighttime lighting all around the house, because I wanted this to really be sort of like not lit up like shining, but so you could definitely see it at night. I mean, not that you can walk into a house or anything, but you guys know what I mean. So I just wanted to add a little something that looked really nice. And again, beachy, because I feel like luxury beach condos would definitely have outdoor lighting. I mean, my house doesn't have outdoor lighting because it's just a basic house, but if you have a lot of money, I find that your house has outdoor lighting. So I wanted to add that. Here we kind of just jumped through a little bit because it took me forever to figure out what colours I wanted to go for, and I just went for black and white in the end because it matched everything perfectly. So you can see that barbecue area over there, and I'm using these lanterns that came with what did they come with? Perfect Patio, I think. And they look great sized up. I really love massive lanterns on a patio area, and then with smaller ones next to them. And so I stick those all over the patio area, or the decking rather, and I do stick them upstairs on the balcony as well, which you'll see a bit later on. Love, love, love this decoration that I'm putting in right now. Again, came with Get Together. It looks so good. It's supposed to be used in like a coffee house or a cafe, because that's one of the new community lots that came with Get Together, but it looks so good in the kitchen as well. So adding a downstairs bathroom here, and I used very like yellowy, creamy, beachy. Again, I'm going to be saying beachy a lot because it is just the kind of build that I went for. So yeah, that's the kind of colours that I went for anyway. So using those cool kitchen cabinets. I actually got rid of that tiling because I didn't think it suited the modern like vibe that this house had, so I got rid of that in the end. Adding in a few details like towels and all that kind of stuff because I wanted there to be, I like to do 2 layers of towels because I always think was one towel that's like not any help to anybody. You're definitely going to have like showering more than once a week, and maybe you only do your washing once a week. Anyway, just like realistic things that I think of when furnishing, so I always put like 2 towels in. And adding a photo frame and then a blind for privacy and a little rug in front of the sinks there. And then I think I move on to the hallway, which is, like I said, a task for sure. It's a very awkward shape, the hallway, especially where the staircase is, and I do just go through, furnish it with black furniture, which didn't match at all. It just looks atrocious, so I do come back and just like blitz the hallway and do it all over again, and I think it looks so much better. I was going to edit this part out, just generally to make the video shorter, because the video is quite long actually. It's like a 30-minute video, and I never know whether to do them in 2 halves or whether to do them all at once, because I myself, when I like to watch YouTube videos, like to have the whole build, but then a lot of people don't like to sit through 30-minute videos, so I mean, it was just a judgment call this time. So plus I was going to, like I said, I was going to edit this part out, but then I thought it's good to see the process, because like I don't always just go in and know exactly what I want to do and it turns out looking great all the time, because it just doesn't. There's a lot of builds that I go through and then I give up halfway because it looks rubbish. So, but not this one. This one turned out really nice in the end, I think. So the downstairs is definitely my favourite, or I favour it over the upstairs anyway. The upstairs is quite small because it's just 2 bedrooms and a shared bathroom. But I mean, it's all you really need, because like I said, this is like a holiday home or like a beach getaway, vacation, whatever kind of house, and I just thought you're not really going to be spending that much time in your room apart from sleeping. You're going to be down here reading or cooking or hanging out with friends or all that kind of stuff, or enjoying the outside. So yeah, the upstairs is what it is. It's just necessity more than anything, and it looks good from the outside. I am thinking about building a bungalow though, because I really like bungalows. My grandparents live in one, always have, like 50 years, and I always love going to their house. It's just good. Sometimes it's just something about not having stairs and everything being on one level that's really convenient. I love playing The Sims in a 1-story house as well. 2 stories I do like, but I don't know, there's something about 1 story that's just ease to play in. So I always think about maybe doing like a massive bungalow with loads of bedrooms, like a massive family house, but it's a bungalow instead. I don't know. You guys can let me know what you think about that, if you feel like commenting on that. And then you can. So I hope everybody had an amazing Christmas and stuff, and a really good New Year, because it's 2016 when I'm recording this. It is the 3rd of January today. I actually tried to record this yesterday and it did not go well. I talked for like 5 minutes and then my throat was so sore, because I am kind of ill at the moment, and my throat got so sore that I just couldn't carry on. And then I was going to fill it in with music, but then I didn't, so, well I did, and then I didn't. I decided that 5 minutes of talking was not good enough, and I wanted to talk about this house as well, because I wanted to describe what was going on and the things I liked, and I like talking about my creations, because sometimes it's like, it's good to describe and explain what's happening and your thought process, so I decided to redo it. But I hope everyone had a really good New Year. I just went to a party and I was up until 3 AM, so definitely had a good time. I hope everybody else had a good time. I hope everybody got really good stuff for Christmas, or just generally had a nice break and all that kind of stuff. It's back to work tomorrow for me, and the year starting over again, and it's all back to normal. But yeah, definitely a good celebration, so I hope everybody had a really great time. If you want to download this house, then you can use the gallery link in the description below, which again, I tried again, and it should work now, because there was a few issues with it last time, or in older videos. It just wouldn't work for some reason, but I have put the link in again. I don't know why it didn't work. I put the link in again, so hopefully that works. If not, then you can definitely search by hashtags EndlxssSims or Endless or Beachside Vistas or Beachside or hashtag Vistas. I've just put in a bunch of hashtags for my houses and Sims and stuff and all my creations, so that it's easier to find. But feel free to follow me on the gallery or whatever if you want to just find my creations easier. So as you can see, as I was rambling away there, the hallway has been redone. It was all black furniture before and it didn't work, and so I went for this beachy lighter wood again, and it definitely works with this flooring and wallpaper contrast. It just looks much better. So just adding a little seating area up here, and then I think I add maybe a bookshelf over here, or a side table. Oh, a side table, there we go. And I think I add like a mirror or a picture above this. It's a mirror, I'm pretty sure, because I always think it's really good to either have like a mirror downstairs as you're going out the door, or a mirror like near the bedroom, so that you can check yourself out before you leave the house. You know, make sure there's like your hair is looking good and all that kind of stuff. And we're moving on to the master bedroom here, which has massive great big windows looking out to the balcony and like the landscaping around, which I was just like, what a perfect bedroom. I'd love to have a balcony on my room. Well, actually I live in England, so probably not, because it would probably just rain all the time. But if I lived in a place like The Sims where it's sunny all the time, then I definitely would. Even though when we get seasons, which I'm assuming we're going to get one at some stage, Windenburg will probably be really rainy because it's, you know, Europe inspired. Not that it works like that in The Sims, but if it did, it would be really rainy because it's Europe inspired, and it definitely likes to rain in Europe. And I've been to France as well as England, and it was just as miserable and rainy there. So I've never been to Germany though. I would like to go to Germany. Anyway, rambling on about the places I've been, we've moved on to the master bedroom, which again is this bluish kind of colour and light wood, different from downstairs but similar. And we've gone for like this grey bed. I do struggle with the beds and then matching the cabinets and stuff. I picked the bed out first so I could match the wallpaper to the covers, and then I was trying to match the wood and it didn't really work. I kind of had to go for this beachy kind of looking wood that was kind of grey. Not really, but you just have to work with what you've got in this game. So here I was fiddling with my music, I remember, because I only finished this part yesterday. So adding in a painting over the bed and stuff, I think I do anyway. Maybe I leave it plain. I think I add one in, and then I add some side lamps and a chair, and I do like a dressing table type of thing in this room because I felt like the master bedroom would probably have that. So absolutely obsessed with these walk-in closets that we finally got. I love walk-in closets. It just helps with, well, they're kind of walk-in. They're just like sliding door closets, but your Sims do actually walk into them. But what I was going to say was they're so helpful when you want to make a walk-in closet in the game. So yeah, anyway, adding this kind of little dressing table thing over here, adding a bunch of like perfumes and makeup or whatever over there. So maybe this isn't a bachelor pad if it's got makeup in it, but maybe it is. Each to their own. So yeah, anyway, adding in a potted plant, and sometimes I get so off topic when I make these videos because 30 minutes is a long time to talk to, like, you know, no one. You're just basically talking to yourself and talking about what you've done, and sometimes I just get off topic, so I'm sorry if that's annoying. But and moving on to the bathroom here, I went for like a very white and grey theme in this bathroom. I wanted to keep it very light, and I don't love how it turned out, I'll be honest, but it was different. So the downstairs one was very like yellowy and cream and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, yeah, adding in these spa day cabinets. I try to use the curved sections, which I do at one end because that changes in a second. Just because I thought it added, because this bathroom was quite harsh and like sharp because it was white and grey. I don't know if that's the right words to describe it. Maybe you guys know what I mean. I don't know. Maybe you don't. So anyway, adding this in. Oh, I should have left it like I just had it a second ago. Actually, that looked better. Oh well. I was trying to like change the cabinets around to add those flowers in, and then I don't even do that in the end. So this is how it looks in the end. Again, adding those towels and stuff. And in a minute, I think we're going to be moving on to the guest bedroom, and then there's also the furnishing of the balcony to do. On the balcony, I just add in a table and chairs for the master bedroom, like just outside where the doors for the master bedroom go, because there are doors to the balcony from the hallway as well. Because it was like the main balcony and it's massive, I thought I should add those in as well. This is the guest bedroom, and the guest bedroom does actually have a balcony of its own on the right there, which you guys will see. And this is where I was struggling. I wanted to go for darker wood because I went for lighter wood in the master bedroom, and I was just struggling. I think we go for like brown covers maybe in here. It's very neutral. It's very just like brown because I just didn't know what to do. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it's blue. I don't think it is though. I guess we're going to find out together, aren't we? This is the thing, sometimes I just can't remember what I did, but it's because I don't love this bedroom, which is why I don't remember. So as you can see, I saved there and then actually came back a different time, and I go for that dark wood, and then Oh no, we go for a brown bed and blue covers, that's it. And then I use a darker wood furnishing, like the end tables and the chest of drawers and all that kind of stuff. So, like I said, if you want to download this house, you can. There is a link in the description. Let me know what you guys think as well in the comments or on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter. There is a link in the description to my Twitter page. I love hearing feedback on my builds because it's like, it's just good. It feels good when you create something and then people either like it or they say, like, maybe you don't like it, but you guys are always really nice on Twitter and stuff. So it's nice to hear that you like it or whatever. So on the balcony, adding in these lanterns again, and then I'm going to add like a little fountain garden area up here, and then that is it. So if you like this video, give it a massive thumbs up. Let me know any comments you want to do, subscribe for more videos and all that jazz, and I hope you've had a wonderful New Year so far, and you've had a great Christmas, and I'm really looking forward to this year. Hopefully be uploading more because I really enjoy it. So yeah, I will see you guys later, and yeah, bye!